So, this episode is going to be all about stress. You know, how to cope with stress, why there is stress maybe as well, I don't know, but especially how to cope with stress. And I think in the end there's also going to be some sort of a script, some sort of a meditation script, some sort of a guided meditation, if you are willing to call it like this or something. I don't know, but there's going to be more after the intro, as always, as every day. Because it's amazing. You know, I still actually wonder how I'm actually having the energy to do this every single day after like, I don't know, 10 hours. I think it's even more than 10 hours of fucking school and being around and whatnot. Like, yeah. But yeah, with that being said, hello, welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. And I'm really looking forward to this episode. And before we even go through the episode, there's 3 things that I'm willing to talk about. The first thing is, if you're willing to listen to this, because it actually is a podcast, please check out the first link and everything should be there that you might be in need of. The second thing is, if you're willing to have a summary of this whole episode, then there's gonna be a PDF down in the description. It is a Google Drive and you do just have to search for something that I went through in this article or in this episode as well, which might definitely be stress. So the name of the PDF might be stress, maybe even today's date, something like that, and you're probably gonna find or going to be able to find that really quickly. You can download it for free, you can print it, you can do whatever with it. The third thing is music. If you're willing to personalize the whole experience of the podcast and or the YouTube video, whatever you're just watching or listening to, then please check out the music thing, you know, which means that you can just add some background music to make the whole experience personalized and maybe even better if you want to have some background music, if it is just making the whole episode a little bit more interesting and all those things. You know, you can decide over the volume, over the genre, all those things. It is a personalization tool, if you want to call it like that. But yeah, so let's move into the articles. Because I've actually as well found a bunch of different articles, and it is like always the case, like before I'm even having an idea or just coming up with an idea what to go through is, I think, one of the hardest things to do. But once I know what I'm willing to go through and what I'm willing to talk about, there's like 10 million different fucking articles that I want to talk about and or that I want to go through and then just also talk about and then just incorporate into the whole episode. But it's like sometimes I'm actually kind of overdoing it because I'm not always having time for going through all the things that I want to go through, at least not in my time span. But yeah, therefore, let's just head right into it. As we age, our immune systems are less efficient, and adding stress to that can lead to disease progression or the onset of disease, says Dr. Ann Webster, a health psychologist at Benson Institute for Mind-Body Medicine at Harvard-affiliated Massachusetts General Hospital. Which is just an interesting fact that I wanted to point out, that elderly people might be more, that stress might have a higher impact on them, a higher negative impact on them. The stress response. Stressful situations trigger a physical reaction known as the stress response. The brain releases warnings to the muscles, which tighten, and to the adrenaline glands, which release stress hormones such as adrenaline or cortisol. These help your body prepare for fight or for flee, which just really makes sense. You know, if you're in a stressful situation, maybe you are attacked by a predator, maybe there's something else going on, then of course it makes sense that your body is just trying to prepare you for certain things that you might be doing afterwards, whether it is actually a fight or whether it is moving away, fleeing, whatever it might be. It just really makes sense. But let's imagine that this is the case for 10 times a day. Of course, it's not going to be good for us. Of course, it's going to be really stressful for the body. You know, of course, it is stressful for us consciously, but I think there's also something especially really stressful and exhausting as well, I would say, subconsciously. You know, because, I don't know, you might notice when you're just not feeling good, but you really don't know why you're not feeling good. You know, you're feeling exhausted, you're feeling not just really energetic and all those things, but we often kind of don't know why. And I think it is kind of one maybe explanation for why this could be the case, that something just happens or there are some responses in our body which we are not really aware of. Might be an explanation for that. I don't know. Your breath quickens to get more oxygen into your blood, and the body releases sugars and fats into the blood for energy, which is just something interesting that I thought might be maybe also an explanation for things. And I think just an interesting fact though. Recognizing stress. Symptoms of stress can take many forms. Stress may cause physical complaints such as tension, headaches, back pain, indigestion, or heart palpitations, which is, I think, skipping a heartbeat or something. A noticeably rapid, strong, or irregular heartbeat. due to agitation, exhaustion, or illness. And stress can also show up as negative behavior, so driving a car too fast, overeating, or smoking can all be behavioral symptoms of stress, says Dr. Webster. The first step toward reducing stress is learning if you know what pushes your buttons, then avoid it. Even though I have to say, like, should you just then completely avoid it? Whatever it might be, because I guess there might be some things you can't just avoid, whether it is like a stressful situation in terms of presentations that you have to do in school or that you have to do in your job. And I think just being like, well, I'm just not going to do them, I think it's not always the best decision to make. And I think it is also not the smartest decision to make. But there are stresses we have to accept, so we must change our reaction to them, explains Dr. Webster. She offers the following ways to reduce or manage stress. The first thing is relaxation techniques. These activities that trigger the relaxation response, a physiological change that can help lower your blood pressure, heart rate, breathing rate, oxygen consumption, and stress hormones. You can achieve this with activities such as meditation, guided imagery, which is something that I think we're going to go through today, yoga, and deep breathing exercises. Cognitive behavioral therapy, which is CBT. CBT is based on the idea that changing unhealthy thinking can change your emotions, which is definitely the truth, I would actually say. A CBT therapist will help you identify negative thinking and learn to automatically replace it with healthy or positive thoughts. Goal setting, which is the last point in this article. When people set goals for themselves, they have a positive sense of commitment, feel they are in control, and are optimistic, says Dr. Webster. She recommends setting goals in your career, relationship, creativity, play, and health. And I think it definitely makes sense, but I do not really want to say it is just about goal setting. I think it is just about meaning in life or a purpose in life. Because if you're just having a goal, I think it is some sort of a purpose. I'm doing this because I do just want to achieve my goal. And this is my purpose. My purpose is achieving the goal that I'm having. Whether it is about just being able to bench 100 fucking pounds, or what it is, I don't know, being able to build a business, whatever it might be, I think it is just about purpose then. It's just about having meaning in life, which is definitely fucking, that's something that's incredibly important, because it is just incredibly important. It really is, as for example, Viktor Frankl already showed us through his book, Man's Search for Meaning. And I think there's also just a lot of other people that are talking about that. And I think you're just also noticing it as well. If you just have a certain drive, if there's something that you need to do every single day, and it is smart, and it makes sense, and that it is just a purposefully task to do, so it is just something smart, as I would also consider the podcast being something smart. It is not nonsensical what I'm doing here. Like, I'm able to build something for myself, I'm able to help other people, like there's a lot of things that I can do with it. And it's not like, okay, I'm just doing it because I'm having a lot of fucking time. I mean, I have a lot of fucking time, don't get me wrong. I really have a lot of time. But I'm also taking my time, I guess. Like, there's also and always two sides of the whole thing, I'd say. But yeah, let's have a look at the next article, which is 3 tips to manage stress from the heart.org site, I guess. And I've only picked this article just because of the heart.org domain, which is actually something that's quite stupid, to be honest. But I thought, like, well, it is a really fucking expensive domain, I guess. It really has to be a fucking expensive domain. So maybe it's also a good article. And I think it's not such a bad one. Like, there's a lot of things and a lot of points that are quite necessary, I think, to go through. Positive self-talk, which is the first one. Let's be honest. We all talk to ourselves. Sometimes we talk out loud, but usually we do it in our heads. Self-talk can be positive, which is, I can do this, or everything will be okay, or negative, I'll never get better, or I'm stupid. Negative self-talk increases stress. Positive self-talk can help you calm down and control stress. With practice, you can learn to shift negative thoughts to positive ones. And for example, this could look like this. I can't do this is then going to be, I'll do this the best I can because I've got this. Everything is going wrong is going to be, I can handle this if I take one step at a time. The third, I hate it when this happens, which is going to be, I know how to deal with this and I've done it before, or because I've done it before. The next, I feel helpless and alone. I can reach out and get help if I need it. I can't believe I screwed up. I'm human and we all make mistakes, so I can fix it. To really make it work, practice positive self-talk every day. In the car, at your desk before you go to bed, or whenever you notice negative thoughts. It is a great practice to teach kids too. And it is an incredibly important thing to teach your kids and kids in general. So, which is, I think, also one of the reasons why I totally believe that being a teacher and being a kindergartner, or whatever it is called, I actually don't know, is something that's incredibly important, or can be something incredibly important if you're noticing that. And if you notice the ability that you are having to change kids in a really, really, really positive way. If you're able to show them that there are some patterns and there are some things that a lot of people are doing, which definitely is fucking negative self-talk. A lot of people are talking about themselves or whatever in a negative way. I'm stupid. I'm never going to be better. Teaching them confidence and teaching them seeing the good in life and seeing the positive in life is something that's incredibly valuable. 10 or top 10 emergency stress stoppers. The first one is count to 10 before you speak or react. Take a few slow, deep breaths until you feel your body unclench a bit. Go for a walk, even if it is just a restroom and back. It can help break the tension and give you a chance to think things through. Try a quick meditation or prayer to get some perspective. If it is not urgent, sleep on it and respond tomorrow. This works especially well for stressful emails and social media trolls. Walk away from the situation for a while and handle it later once things calm down. Break down big problems into smaller parts. Take one step at a time instead of trying to tackle everything at once. Turn on some chill music or an inspirational podcast to help you deal with road rage. And the last two ones are take a break to pet the dog, hug a loved one, or do something to help someone else. Which is always, at least in my point of view, something that's just amazing, you know? Helping somebody else is going to make you feel better, it's going to make you happy. There's a lot of benefits for you as well, if you're helping somebody else. And the last one is work out or do something active. Exercise is a great antidote for stress. And I would say this as well. Even though if it is like something that you're always doing, you know, in terms of working out, it can always also be something that causes the stress. Yeah, because it is on a schedule, you have to do it, you're not feeling like doing your work and all those things, but you have to push through. You know, I think this is something that's clear. You have to do that, no matter how you're feeling. Because I don't give a fuck how you're feeling. You have to fucking do that. You know, because I think, which is, by the way, also something that I'm kind of struggling with, but in a completely different way. You know, for me, it is not about discipline or the lack of discipline. For me, it is actually about being too disciplined. You know, I can't do like, I wouldn't be able to take one day off of recording. I wouldn't like to do that. Nor, and especially this is kind of completely the case, I wouldn't be able to just eat one day of bullshit. I, first of all, do not want to do it because I know that I'm going to feel shit. Second of all, I'm feared that I'm then going to be ill just right after eating something. And I'm not going to be able to do that. I can't. I really can't. It's just so in my brain. It's so in my system. I can't do it. No matter what just somebody would say to me. You know, if it is like about $1 million or $10 million, I might think about it. But it is like really something that's incredibly difficult for me to just do, I'd say. When stress makes you feel bad, to do something that makes you feel good, even if only for 10 minutes or 15, some of these activities may work for you. The first one is make art, so draw, color, paint, or play a musical instrument or design something if you're just into Photoshop and those things. Work on a scrapbook or photo album to focus on good memories. Read a book, short story, or magazine. Meet a friend for a coffee or meal. Play a favorite sport like golf, tennis, or basketball. Do a hobby like sewing, knitting, or making jewelry. Play with your kids or pets outdoors if possible. Listen to music or watch an inspiration or inspiring performance. Take a walk in nature. Take a relaxation bath and feel the stress wash away. Meditate or practice yoga. Work in the garden or do home improvement project. Go for a run or bike ride to clear your mind. And this is also the end of this article. And there's also the last one, which is again a Harvard article. It's also not that long because I'm actually kind of fear that I'm not going to be able to finish on time, which is actually kind of the most stressful part about, I think, recording an episode, because I do want to talk about so many things and I'm kind of also feel to just forget about some things, and sometimes I do just have to hurry up a little bit, which is something that I actually do not like to do because, like, yeah, you know, I want to talk about this because it is important to me and I hope to do something and get out something that is also hopefully changing how some of you are viewing the world or some of you are just doing. The first one is breathe focus, which is, by the way, 6 relaxation techniques to reduce stress. The first one is breathe focus. Long, slow, deep breaths, also known as abdominal or belly breathing. As you breathe, you gently disengage your mind from distracting thoughts and sensations. Breath focus can be especially helpful for people with eating disorders to help them focus on their bodies and therefore also in a more positive way. And it might not be appropriate for people that are having breathing difficulties because of illnesses, because of diseases, because of whatever. Then just don't do it. Especially if it is about just really deep breaths, I guess it's not going to be a good idea, but focusing on your breathing is definitely something that you can still do, even though you're not breathing deeply and whatnot. The second thing is the body scan. This technique blends breath focus with progressive muscle relaxation. A body scan can help boost your awareness of your mind-body connection, which is definitely the truth because you're scanning your body. And I think this is quite it. And this is quite everything that I have to say in terms of that. Guided imagery. For this technique, you conjure up soothing scenes, places, or experiences in your mind to help you relax or focus. You can find free apps and online recordings of calming scenes. It may help you reinforce a positive vision of yourself as well. Then there's mindful meditation, which I'm not going to go through because it is something that everyone knows about at this point in time, I guess. The fifth one is yoga, tai chi, and or qigong. These three ancient arts combine rhythmic breathing with a series of postures or flowing movements. The physical aspect of these practices offer a mental focus that can help distract you from racing thoughts. And the last one is repetitive prayer. For this technique, you silently repeat a short prayer or phrase from a prayer while practicing breathing focus. This method will be especially appealing if religion or spirituality is meaningful to you. And I would say this as well, but I wouldn't necessarily exclude people that are not really into spirituality and all those things, because you can also do that. Like if it is a mantra, if it is something like that, you can also repeat it. It might also work as something to just remind you that your life is amazing, that you're healthy, that everything is actually okay. But as I said before, and as I'm also just realizing, life is really distractive through distractive thoughts, I would say, because I've noticed a lot that they're talking about distracting thoughts and thinking about distracting things and all those things. Like in the end, it is really like a way, or these things are just distracting us, which led me also thinking like, well, doing the podcast, for example, or whatever you might be doing, is just a way to it's actually just a way to distract me and also maybe you from thinking about distracted thoughts. In the end, it is actually the case, and I think it is actually a pretty good way to do so, because I don't know, I'm not talking and or thinking about a lot of things besides the things that I'm talking about on the podcast and the things that I'm just talking about with people, and most often it's something positive, because I'm just also. Not relatively often, but sometimes I'm also talking about some negative things on the podcast as well. But the thing is, like, no, I also tend to not watch any movies that are negative. I also just try to not do that. I'm also trying to not listen to any music that is negative, even though, which is then something that's quite fucked up, if the melody is cool and if I like the melody, because it most often is the case that, or sometimes it is the case that the melody is actually pretty funny and pretty cool and pretty happy, but in the end the lyrics is like, negative, and then I'm just trying to not listen to this music because I know that it is somehow getting into my subconscious mind and I do not want this to be in my mind actually. But yeah, the last thing that we're going to go through is like a beach visualization relaxation, and it is not that long. I hopefully I'm gonna be able to go through it on time. So please maybe sit back or close your eyes if you're able to, if you're just listening to this podcast or watching this video in a safe environment, then you can please do that. It might be good. I might not be able to read this in a very good way because I'm not a good reader, and actually I'm reading quite a lot, just based on that kind of thought there. But yeah, so get comfortable, sit in a supportive chair or lie on your back. Relax your body by releasing any areas of tension. Allow your arms to go limp and then also your legs. Feel your arms and legs becoming loose and relaxed. Now relax your neck and back by relaxing your spine. Release the hold of your muscles all the way from your head down to your neck, along each vertebra to the tip of your spine. Breathe deeply into your diaphragm, drawing air fully into your lungs, and release the air with a whooshing sound. Breathe in again, slowly. Pause for a moment and then breathe out. Draw a deep breath in and out, and in and out. Become more and more relaxed with each breath. Feel your body giving up all the tension, becoming relaxed and calm, so peaceful. Feel a wave of relaxation flow from the soles of your feet to your ankles, lower legs, hips, pelvic area, abdomen, chest, back, hands, lower arms, elbows, upper arms, shoulders, neck, back of your head, face, and then the top of your head. Allow your entire body to rest heavily on the surface when you sit or lie. Now that your body is fully relaxed, allow the visualization relaxation to begin. Imagine you're walking toward the ocean, walking through a beautiful tropical forest. You can hear the waves up ahead and you can smell the ocean spray. The air is moist and warm. Feel a pleasant, cool breeze blowing through the trees. You walk along a path coming closer to the sea. As you come to the edge of the trees, you see the brilliant aqua color of the ocean ahead. You walk out of the forest and onto a long stretch of white sand. The sand is very soft powder. Imagine taking off your shoes and walking through the hot, white sand toward the water. The beach is wide and long. Hear the waves crashing to the shore. Smell the clean salt water and the beach. You gaze again toward the water. It is bright and blue-green. See the waves washing up onto the sand and receding back toward the ocean, washing up and flowing back down. Enjoy the ever-repeating rhythm of the waves. Imagine yourselves walking toward the water over the fine hot sand and you're feeling very hot. As you approach the water, you can feel the mist from the ocean on your skin. You walk closer to the waves and feel the sand becoming wet and firm. A wave washes over the sand toward you and touches your toes before receding. As you step toward more waves, wash over your feet. Feel the cool water provide relief from the heat. Walk further into the clear, clean water and you can see the white sand under the water. The water is pleasant, relaxing temperature, providing relief from the hot sun, cool but not too cold. You walk further into the water if you wish, swim if you want to, enjoy the ocean for a few minutes. Allow the visualization relaxation to deepen more and more relaxed. So enjoy the ocean. Now you're feeling calm and refreshed. You walk back out of the water and onto the beach. Strong along the beach at the water's edge, free of worries, no stress, calm, enjoying the holidays. Up ahead is a comfortable lounge chair and towel just for you. Sit or lie down in the chair or spread towel on the sand. Relax on the chair or towel, enjoying the sun and the breeze and the waves. You feel peaceful and relaxed. Allow all your stresses to melt away. When you're ready to return from your vacation, do so, but slowly. Bring yourself back to your usual level of alertness and awareness. Keep with you the feeling of calm and relaxation, feeling ready to turn to your day. Open your eyes, stretch your muscles and become fully alert, refreshed and filled with energy. You can practice this visualization relaxation as often as you wish to provide a mental vacation whenever you need it. Visualization relaxation is a skill that can be learned. The more you practice, the more skilled you will become and more effectively you will be able to relax using visualization relaxation. And with that being said, I think this is going to be the end of the episode. And it is also the end of this amazing, I would say, even though my reading part wasn't that bad actually, but it could have been better as well. Still, this is it with this episode, and I wish you the best health, happiness, and also success. And I also hope that you're gonna remind yourself on how you're gonna be remembered. So your legacy in the end. 3 other questions that I hope that you are going to ask yourself are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 are hopefully gonna show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea. And that being said, I hope you've enjoyed it. Maybe you even like and or subscribe to the podcast and or the YouTube channel. And I'm hopefully going to see you the next time. So I'll see you.